I have a little bit of a warming flow for us, and then we're going to cool it down and get into some more meditative, introspective postures. I realize that we have some beginners, so it's going to be all levels tonight. I'm going to give you some modifications. We're going to work through the flow together. So what I'd like to do to begin is invite you to sit in a comfortable seated position at the front of your mat. Whatever is comfortable for you. You might want to put a block under your sit bones if that feels nice, lifting the hips up, wherever you find. And then keeping the palms just facing down on the knees, gently closing the eyes, and arriving. Okay. Gently thank yourself for that. And start to become aware of the breath. Just notice the qualities. Start to let go. Find the moment here with the breath. Eckhart Tolle says that the air that we breathe is nature, but he also says that the breathing process itself is nature as well. We learn to tune into the breathing process. We have the ability to reconnect with nature in a really powerful way, a way that takes us out of a world of thinking. We're often called human beings, but we're often human doings. So just starting to really realize the breath here in this moment. Beginning to lengthen the inhalations and the exhalations. Finding a deeper breath here that feels good for you. And I invite you to bring Ujjayi breath into this class. What that means is constricting the muscles in the back of the throat. So we're going to create the sound of a deep ocean. You could also think of it like fogging a mirror. So if you'd want to try, you could open your mouth like you're fogging a mirror. So what we really want to do is close the mouth here and do that same motion with the mouth closed. So as it elongates our exhalations, it enables us to become more introspective. Focus on the breath. Bringing that deep ocean sound as you breathe in and out. And stay with this Ujjayi breath for a few more breath cycles at your own pace. Really bringing breath into the body. As you breathe, notice where in your body you're bringing the air into. So we have the belly, the abdomen, the chest. Try to fill all of the space in your body with the air that you bring in. Filling the belly, the abdomen, the chest. And then exhaling down the chest, the abdomen, the belly, the navel draws into the spine. Letting all of the air out. Finding one more deep inhalation together. Exhale out the mouth. Let everything go. And then just simply notice the qualities of the breath here. Notice anything has changed before you walked in to now. Notice if you have any more energy based on just the breath that you brought into your body. And bring your hands to heart center. It could be anything from happiness to relieving stress sits with you this moment, this evening. Could be letting go of something that you no longer need. Taking a deep inhalation together. And exhale fully. Gently float the hands back down to the knees and flutter the eyes open, down soft to the front of the mat. Beginning with a seated cat-cow, finding whatever seated position you're most comfortable in. If you need to move around, wiggle the body, feel free to do so. We're going to pull the chest forward, pull the heart through, keeping the hands on the knees, inhaling forward. And exhale, we're going to round the spine. Navel comes into the spine. Exhale, fully drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, chest reaches forward. And exhale, round the spine. Beautiful. Inhale. And exhale, round. Finding your own pace here. 3 more breaths. Inviting movement into the spine, waking up the body. Inhale. And exhale. When you've finished, come to a neutral spine in your seated position. Inhale both hands up to the sky. Reach, elongate the body. Fingertips are actively reaching towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach to the side of the mat and reach the hand over the head, elongating the left side of the body, bringing more space, breathing into the side body here. And exhaling, folding a little deeper. Inhale, reach, and exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, both hands. Inhale. Follow with the gaze. Exhale, float the left hand down to the mat and finding the same stretch on this side. Inhaling, right arm up. Exhaling, folding deeper, keeping both sit bones on the ground, rooted here strongly. Inhale, reach. And exhale, lengthen. Inhale, reach all the way back up. And exhale, float the hands down, sit walls, finding a nice stretch. When you find a place where your forearms feel like they're getting a stretch, pause, breathe, and then float all the way back down. Either rolling over your knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, finding a stable base. We're going to move into the same cat-cow undulations we were doing in a seated position, but here we'll find more movement. You can keep the tops of the feet on the mat. Inhale, reach the heart through, drop the belly, crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Exhale, navel to spine, round the back, drop the chin to the chest. Heart through, dropping the belly, and exhale, round. Find 3 more of these here at your own pace, with your own breath. Really letting the breath. Good. Beautiful. When you've finished your last cycle, come back to tabletop. Find your sturdy base, keeping the L shape of the pointer finger and the thumb into the mat. That really takes the edge off of the wrists here, and we practice more safely and gently. So in our neutral position, we're going to reach the right arm up towards the sky. Inhale. Simple twist. Exhale, reach the arm through, threading the needle. We're going to pulse here. Reach up, inhale, twist. Reaching the arm under the left. Inhale, last time, reach all the way up. And exhale, we're going to stay, planting the side of the cheek on the earth, walking the left fingertips out in front. And staying here to breathe. finding the side stretch, walking that arm out. And when you're ready, on an inhalation, come back to center. Tabletop, neutral spine. So left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread the needle through. Inhale, fully reaching the arm up, gentle twist in the spine. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale to stay, reaching through, planting the left cheek on the mat. Finding space here, walking the right fingertips out over the head. They can even walk towards the left side of the room. And find your breath here. Find the open shoulder. And when you're ready, inhale, come back to tabletop. Moving through a flow here, we're going to press back into child's pose. So hips to heels, reaching the spine towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, dropping the hips towards the earth. And if you'd like to watch me, we can flow together. Dropping the hips. Inhale, reaching the heart through. We're in a cobra. And exhale through the same cat down into child's pose. So that's going to be our flow. If you'd like to watch one more time, it's going to be inhaling through cat, exhaling, dropping the hips, inhaling, reaching the heart through, and exhaling through cat to child's pose. Pressing the forehead on the mat. Do 3 more of these at your own pace. Inhaling, exhaling, dropping the hips, inhale. And exhale through cat to child's pose. Twice more. Inhaling through cat. Exhaling, dropping the hips. Inhaling through cobra down to child's pose. Touch of the forehead to the mat. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, drop the hips. Inhale, reach the heart through. And exhale, find child's pose to stay for 3 breaths here. Really pressing the forehead into the mat. You can walk the hands back beside the hips if that's more comfortable, or keep your arms extended. Beautiful. On an inhalation, ensuring the wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips here. Tucking all 10 toes to the mat. Finding even the pinky toe here, if we can. Inhale, we're going to float a couple inches off the earth. Good, and we're going to start to build some heat. So you might already feel it in your arms. You might already feel it in your core. Inhale, exhale, wide. The hips through the legs. Good. Then we're going to flow through here. So inhale to tabletop, floating. And exhale, press the hips back between the knees. Inhale, float. And exhale, press back, generating some heat in the body. Beautiful. Let's do it twice more. Inhale, forward, floating, tabletop, exhale, back. Once more. Stay strong. Inhale, floating tabletop. Exhale, press back. And on your next inhale, you can press the knees to straight, finding downward facing heels towards the mat. You may find it nice to walk the heels alternately here. Walking the dog out. Rooting all 10 fingertips into shape for stability in our wrists with the pointer finger and the thumb. And don't forget to breathe. Finding stillness, lift the heels up towards the sky and bring the heels back. They may not reach the mat, and that's okay. It's just the motion of them yearning to reach the mat that matters. Hold here for 2 breaths. Beautiful. Long, beautiful breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale, come onto the tips of the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, and walk or step between the hands at the top of the mat. Finding our first forward fold of the evening, bringing a slight bend to the knees here to protect the backs of the legs. And we can find waterfall, grabbing opposite elbows and dropping the head for support here in our shoulders. And if you'd like to walk the legs towards more of a straightened position, bringing the knees towards straight, that's fine. But it's nice to keep a nice bend towards the end of our practice. Bring the arms down, hands, palms facing up. Inhale, lift and lengthen, finding an almost straight back here. Hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Very active forward fold here. Inhale, lift and lengthen. We're going to do the same cat-cow undulations here in standing. So you won't do this a lot in most of your yoga classes, but this is really nice for the spine. So you're inhaling, dropping the belly, reaching the crown of the head forward. In the spine, dropping the chin to the chest. Inhaling, reaching the heart through. And exhaling, chin to chest, rounding the spine. Find 2 more of those on your own. Inhale, round. Once more, inhale forward, and exhale, round. This time we're going to inhale, roll the spine all the way up, slight bend in the knee, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling the spine up to standing. And when you get to the top, bring the shoulders up to the ears, and drop. Stop 3 more times. Inhale, tense. Exhale, drop. Let everything go. Inhale, up. And drop. Last one. Inhale, all the way up. And drop. Inhale, finding our Tadasana, mountain pose. So we want to be strong like a mountain. You might want to lift and spread the toes. Come on the tippy toes and make sure we are rooted in all 4 corners of the feet, really finding a strong base. And from here, inhale, reach the arm up. Light back bend is welcomed. And exhale, hands all the way down, float to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Hold here for 2 breaths. You might find opposite elbows. Good. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant both hands to frame the feet. Step the right foot back. Drop the back knee, low lunge. Inhale, reach the arms out in front and up. We're going to find some movement here. We're going to find some pulsation. So we're going to inhale, reach up. Bring the knee directly over the ankle. And exhale, pulse, finding the knee jutting out over the foot. Inhale, reach up and lengthen. Exhale, in this front hip flexor. Inhale, reach, and exhale. Inhale once more, and exhale. Float the hands down to frame the foot. Walk the hands back, straighten the front leg, and come to shine the heart. Reach necessarily the head. So we're going to keep a nice, strong posture here. Inhaling. And exhaling, finding a little bit of pulsation here. Inhaling, reaching the heart. Exhaling, finding a deeper stretch. Last time, inhale, reach. And exhale, fold. Walking the hands back to the top of the mat. Finding our first high plank. Bringing both feet to the back of the mat. Holding here for 3 breaths. Inviting heat, inviting warmth into the body. Knowing fully that we will be in a cooling place shortly. Keep breathing and float the chest all the way down to the mat. All the way down, making sure that our hands are underneath our shoulders, tops of the feet on the mat. We're going to reach into Cobra. So Cobra's, it can be baby Cobra, it can be full Cobra. Baby Cobra might look like this, reaching the heart through, inhaling, and maybe floating the hands. Small back bend, but it's a lot of work in the lower back. Or we might prefer to do a more active back bend here. Less work for the muscles, but more of a back bending position. Up, exhale, inhale, reach. Exhale, float the chest back down. Twice more, inhale, finding that Cobra back bend. And exhale, floating the chest back down. Inhale, last time to hold. Finding 2 more breaths here. Breathing. And exhale, float the mat. Finding rest. Bringing both hands back besides the body. Taking a couple breaths here. Beautiful. And when you're ready, place the hands back underneath the shoulders and press up into plank, either through the knees or just directly up, whatever you'd like. Find 1 breath here and press back to downward facing dog. Heels yearning for the earth. All 10 fingers mat. Inhale the right leg towards the sky. And exhale, we're going to step it through, finding low lunge on this side. Pulsation up. Exhale, pulse. Inhale, reach. And exhale, pulse. Finding a nice deep stretch on this side. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Last one, inhale, reach. Exhale, float the hands down to frame the foot and walk it back. Finding the same forward fold here. Heart yearning to reach the tops of the feet. Inhale and exhale, fold. Inhale, reach. And exhale, pulse gently. Last one, inhale and exhale. Top of the mat. Come on to the back toes. You're just going to walk or step to meet the front foot. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. Slight back bend here. And exhale, hands to heart. And just feel that one cycle in the body, the heat that we've created. When you're ready, float the arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Straight-ish back. Nobody's back is straight. Exhale, fold. We're going to step the right foot back. Staying on a high lunge position, crescent lunge. So what we'd like to do is find a stable base. Just gently float the hands here. Just make sure that we have a stable foundation before we're reaching it up. So we're going to inhale, reach all the way up. Good. Maybe we need to widen our base. Bringing the foot wider. We don't want to be on a tightrope here. So inhaling, reaching up. And we're going to bring the heart over the front knee. Here. Exhale, float the arms back. Trying to like hug a beach ball here. So seeing like really activating the arms. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale back. Once more. Inhale forward. And exhale, reaching back. Inhale, come all the way back up. Float the hands down beside the sacrum. We're going to clasp the hands here and humble our warrior. So we're going to reach, opening the heart. And exhale, float the heart down, shoulder by the knee. For 1 breath. It's a lot of work in the legs. Inhale, come all the way back up. And float the hands. And lower the chest down to the mat. Finding bow pose, we're going to bend both knees. Bring both hands to clasp the ankles or the feet, whatever you can reach here. The heart is going to reach forward, so we're doing some more activation in the low backs, the muscles that line the back here. So reaching, kicking into the hands reaching for the feet, heart shining forward. You might just find a roll here. It's a lot of work. And release. Put that right cheek to the earth and find a chance to get back with the breath. Bringing the cheek all the way down to the mat. And finding the stability of the ground. When you're ready, walk the hands under, however you want to get there. Finding our strong plank, taking one breath here, and press back into downward facing dog. Hips pointing up towards the sky, hands reaching into the mat. Really nice. Gonna reach that right leg up towards the sky again. Inhale, exhale, step it all the way through to the top of the mat. Finding that same crescent lunge on this side, making sure that we have the stability in our legs before we move up. So just gently floating the fingertips off. See if we're wobbling, maybe we want to widen our stance. Ground really deeply through both feet and inhale, reach all the way up. Find sturdiness here, find support. And then we're going to reach the heart over the knee. Reach, exhale, float the arms back behind like we're grabbing that same beach ball. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, float the arms back. Inhale, forward. Inhale, come all the way up. And float the arms behind the back, clasping the hands once more at the sacrum. Inhale, slight back bend. And exhale, float the heart down, shoulder to knee for one breath. Staying for the exhale. Inhale all the way back up. And take reprieve, float the hands down to the mat. Step back into high plank and float down, heart to the mat. Come all the way down for our last back bend here. Reaching the arms out in front and to the sides. And finding that same lift in the heart here. So into the mat, we're finding a really nice heart opener here. It's a lot of work. Keep breathing. And exhale, float back down. Find one of your cheeks to lay here. Feel the support. Really enjoying where you're at. Keep the breath. When you're ready, bring the hands under the shoulders and press back into high plank. And bring the hips back to downward facing dog. Might want to pedal it out here, might feel good on the legs. After all of that quad work. Last heat building cycle of the practice tonight. We're going to bend our knees, come onto the tips of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift or lengthen. Just really bringing some elongation into the back of the body. And exhale, fold way up, reaching the arms out wide and overhead. Slight back bend. And pause with the hands at the heart here. Taking a moment before we dive in. And inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, swan dive, heart forward, down to the earth. Plant both hands, step the right foot back. We're going to be in warrior one, so really finding the heel to the mat. We're on two separate train tracks here, so we don't want to be on a tightrope. And then float the arms up. The knee is not going to be in such a deep bend, leaving. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale. Inhale to stay. Exhale, float the arms down. We're going to come back onto the back knee. Walk the left foot out towards the width of the mat. Coming into gecko/lizard. If you'd like to, you can use here for your hip. If you want to come down onto the elbows, I invite you to do that. Breathing deeply here. And if you want to stay totally up, that's great too. You have the option to lift this or keep the knee grounded for a deeper hip stretch here. And continue to breathe. Really opening the hip out. And for this transition, if you're already on your elbows, we're going to move to a low plank. So really firing up that back knee, bringing the knee off of the mat, bringing the left foot to meet the back, or finding yourself however you want to get to this low plank here. To hold and walk the feet in. This is similar to downward facing dog. It's called dolphin. Opening here. A lot more work in the shoulders. Really nice. And when you're ready, just float the knees to the ground, hips back towards the heels, arms stay outstretched in front, forehead to the mat, and breathe here. Continue to breathe. Giving yourself a small break. When you're ready, press back up into tabletop. Float the knees up into downward facing dog. Finding 2 deep breaths, rooting the fingertips into the mat. Lifting the left leg towards the ceiling, reaching the left leg up. Trying to keep the hips square here, so you don't need to lift it too far up. Trying to keep the shoulders square too, so if you have too much pressure in the left hand, try to take some of the weight in the right hand, just finding a nice center here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, curl chin to the knee, bring the knee toward the leg up towards the sky. And exhale, step it through this time. Step the back foot to meet the front. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up to stand. And immediately exhale, flow down, forward fold. Inhale, lift, length. Exhale, step the left foot back. Warrior 1, drop the left heel towards the mat. And inhale, come all the way up. Strong warrior 1 pose here. So we want the hips to be turned to the mat, then to have open hip posture here. So we'd like the hips to be closed off. So if you want to even if you want to bring your hands to your hips, just see which way they're pointing. Try to bring them more forward. It's really nice. Inhale the arms up. And breathe here. Really strong posture, open heart. Reaching the arms up. And exhale down inside the right foot. Come back down onto the back knee. Walk the right foot out towards the width of the mat. And we're going to find that same open stretch here for the hips. So if you did on the other side, you can come down onto the forearms or stay high. And to lift the back knee if you'd like. If you'd like a little bit more core, a little bit more fire. Or keep it grounded. And continue to breathe here. Really nice. It's a really deep stretch for the front. Being kind, not taking it too far. And when you're ready, finding your forearms down on the mat. And then coming back, lifting the back knee, firing the core, and stepping both feet back to low plank, walking it in for dolphin. Finding some heat in the whole body here. And breathing. Option to lift the right leg towards the sky if you'd like. And if you do it on that side, find it on the other side. It's a lot of heat here. Child's pose, knees come to the mat, forehead comes to the mat, hips to heels, and breathe. Good. Staying with the breath, really opening up the lower back here. 2 more breath cycles. Breathe into the hips, into the low back. And when you're ready, walk the hands back toward the heels and either roll off to one side or roll over, whichever way you'd like to get there. Rolling off one side and finding ourselves in a seated position. Maybe walking the hips up to the front part of the mat. And our last warming, I promise. Reaching the feet up. We're going to find boat pose. So you can keep a nice straight line here. You don't need to bring the legs all the way out. It's a lot of core work here, even just like this. So finding our heart yearning towards our tops of our feet here. And when you're ready, just float the legs back down. Take a minute to hug the hips in, hug the knees towards the chest, and lengthen the spine. So reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling here, like there's a string. Rock from side to side, whatever feels good. And for our last boat pose, what I'd like to introduce is a breath of fire. So if you're not familiar, it's a really powerful breath practice that brings a lot of heat into the body. If you didn't have enough, here's some more. So what we're going to do is we're our spine. So when I say that, it's just really like activating the core, activating the really like inside deep core in our body. So as we exhale through the nose, and the navel pulls back. So you can practice or try. So inhale is really passive. So the inhale kind of just happens naturally. And it kind of just air just comes right back in there. You're not exerting any pressure to bring it in. So if that's not a good explanation, what it feels like is the navel coming in. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it actually is really good for the innermost workings of the abdominals. So we're going to come back into, and we're going to try to do that for a minute with that breath. So on the exhale is where we're really, we're working with the exhale. And that's where we're bringing the core back into the belly. So we're going to lean back, reach the feet up, find just one line straight of energy here. And let it go. Inhale, half inhalation here. So this is really hard. Stay with the breath. If you're brave, you can kick the legs out. Keep breathing. If you need to restart, you just take a half inhale. Really good. 10 more seconds. Okay, and let it go. Come into a seated position. Hands on the knees. Close the eyes. And we're going to just bring it down a lot. So we're going to let everything come full circle. Bring balance to the body. We warm the body. We cool the body. It's the sun and the moon energy. It's like what feminine and masculine energy in the body. So what I'd like you to do here is find a wide-legged position. So you might want to scooch to the back of your mat or off your mat if you want your heels on the mat. Turning to the wide side or staying whichever way you'd like. I like my heels on the mat. If you'd like a block underneath the sit bones, that could be nice to lift you up here. We're going to reach our arms up towards the ceiling. Finding a straight spine, engaging the core here. And exhale, fold with the heart reaching forward, not the arms. So with the heart really rooting and reaching. And exhale. With a long spine, keeping a flexion in the feet. You can just drop the neck here. Find a more passive pose. Letting go. Spine. Keeping integrity in the length of the spine here. Really nice. And if you're not able to reach very far, you can hold on to the legs even. That might bolster you a little bit more to sort of bend forward. And keep breathing. The breath naturally lengthens here, which cools us. The breath has a lot of power. Breathing, long exhalations. Really nice. Taking one inhalation together in this posture. And exhaling out the mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, let everything go. Really nice. Walking the hands back in on an inhalation, keeping the spine strong. You can kind of grab into the inside of the knees. Bring both feet together here. Soles of the feet to touch. You can be out in front, your sit bones. I like to be in about a medium region here, so it's going to stretch you either way. What we'll do here is we'll reach like there's a string from the crown of our head, pulling us up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach the heart forward, and exhale, bring the hands to clasp around the toes. Tops of the toes are cupped by the tops of the thumbs. And exhale, we're just going to bring the heart towards the feet. And when you're ready, you can fold the chin to the chest, round the spine more here, and let the pose become passive. What's important here is to find and then find stillness. Really nice. Letting go, remaining with the breath. Continuing to deepen the stretch with the breath. These postures that we're doing are going to be held for longer than you're used to, similar to yin postures, where we're able to get beyond the muscular tension into the myofascial tissues, really letting things go. Keep breathing. On your next inhalation, with integrity in the spine, walk the hands back to a seated position. Grab the outsides of your knees to protect our knees and bring them in. We're going to float down to our mat. Gently, vertebrae by vertebrae, release and letting go. Keeping the soles of the feet on the earth. If you don't have a block, I'm going to walk by and bring you one. Awesome. I'm going to lift the hips up. Keeping the rest of the body on the earth. So we're going to lift the hips up, sliding a block underneath our sacrum. So you're going to want it right on your sacrum. It can be at a higher setting, a lower setting, whatever feels good here, in supported bridge pose. Making sure that it's not hurting any part of the spine, making sure it's directly under the sacrum here, right at the bottom of the tailbone. And head, opening the shoulders. Continuing to breathe, finding stillness. Maybe closing the eyes. And when you're ready, lift the hips a bit higher, float the arms down to the sides and remove the block. And gently, vertebrae by vertebrae, lower the spine, falling onto the sacrum. Hug the knees into the chest. You might just hands, hold opposite forearms, whatever works for you here. And hugging the knees, rocking from side to side, massaging the lower back, releasing, continuing to breathe. When you're ready, we're going to let go here, float the soles of the feet back down to the earth, and come into some windshield wipers. So bringing the knees side to side, both knees floating to the left, both knees floating to the right, keeping the feet hip distance, releasing the lower lumbar here, gentle twists. Hug the knees back into the chest. We're going to rock forward and back. So creating a little bit more movement. When you're ready, you can rock all the way up to seated. Outstretch the legs in front. Find a really nice, strong back here, lifting the crown of the head towards the ceiling, reaching the arms up, aside the ears. Dropping the shoulders, releasing the shoulders here, and reaching out for a forward fold, reaching the heart towards the feet. And once you come to your edge, letting the hands drop wherever they may, and let the pose become more passive. Drop the head, chin to chest, and breathe here. You might hold on to the feet. It might be your ankles, your shins, placing the hands beside the legs. Finding a nice forward fold here, letting everything go. And staying with the breath. Continue breathing. Nice. When you're ready, and walk the fingertips back up to seated position, bringing the hands behind the hips, straight arms, point the toes down in front of you. We're going to lift the hips and open the front body. Do planks with our front body, but we don't often do this kind of action where it really works the back muscles and relieves some of that stress. Continue breathing. You can let the head be held by the cushion of your shoulders. Ready, lower the hips back down to the earth. Walk the feet into the chest and roll down back to the mat. Taking a minute, finding your breath, and finding your strap. If your strap is handy, please grab it. Coming down back onto the back, finding the strap and placing feet. So bringing the knees into the chest, strap just below like the toe mounds here. We're going to reach the legs up towards the sky. And wherever you want to grab onto, the strap here is great. It doesn't have to be close to the feet. We're just finding a passive inversion. So come above our head is an inversion, and this lets go of a lot of lactic acid that's stored in the feet, the ankles, the legs. When we get fresh new blood, it's very healthy. If you ever suffer from restless leg syndrome, or you can't get to sleep because you feel your legs are just too active, sticking your legs up like this with a strap or against a wall can really help relieve that. Breathing here, both feet towards the sky, not actively working except for just holding the strap. The right leg down towards the mat, keeping the left foot in the strap. Straighten the leg down onto the mat, there you go. And bring the strap into the left hand. The hip out to the side. So we're going to gently float the leg down. And if you can just make it here, that's fine. I'm going to come around and put blocks underneath your feet. Wherever you make it is perfect. Really nice, everyone. And what can be nice is bringing the right hand to the right hip, pressing down into the right hip, finding stability through that leg, and just continuing to breathe here. Beautiful. It's a really opening hip posture. When you're ready, you're going to bring that leg back up towards the sky and find both feet back in our gentle inversion here, releasing, letting that go. 2 hands holding the straps, closing the eyes, straining the legs, continuing to breathe. And when you're ready, bring the left foot out of the strap, float it down straight to the mat. Bring the strap into the right hand and move into that same open hip posture on this side, floating the right foot down and continuing to breathe. Bringing the left hand to the left hip. We store a lot of emotions in our hips, and we work with that every day. So some of these hip opening postures can release a lot of that pent up emotion. Sometimes in these postures, emotions come up and it might be frustrating. Staying with the breath, being held by the mat, by the earth. Continuing to breathe. Maybe calling on that Ujjayi breath here. Closing the mouth, constricting the back of the throat. When you're ready, float the leg back up to the sky and join both legs in the strap once more for one last restorative motion. letting this be really relaxing for you. If you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. If you want to walk the hands further away, do so. Just letting it be a very restorative, relaxing posture. When you're ready, let the legs float down to the mat. Release the strap. Knees into the chest. And do that same rocking motion, massaging the lower back, side to side. Then hug the knees in as close as you can and bring the forehead to the knees. One big hug. Really condense here into like a little egg. And exhale, let go. We're gonna rock back up to seated. Finding a couple rocks to get there. And come over into tabletop. This is our last posture of the night. We're gonna bring the left knee to the left wrist. So right inside the left wrist here. If you're familiar, we're going to go into Pigeon or Sleeping Swan. So what's really nice is, this is another nice hip opener. So coming down onto this sit bone and then walking the hands out in front. We want to keep a flexion in the front foot to protect the knee. And then let go. Forehead to the tops of the hands or forehead to the mat. Walk the hands however far in front of you, however low to the earth you want to get here. And just rest here and breathe into that hip. Really nice. Keep breathing. Keep breathing here. Really. Cycles at your own pace. And when you're ready, gently press into the palms. Walk the hands back towards the body. Bring the left ankle closer to the body. Swing the back leg around for a gentle twist, finding the heel on the outside of the left knee. Reaching the left arm up. And we're going to actually arms up. Inhale. We want to twist from the belly. So oftentimes when we do these twists, we just kind of push ourselves into them. We really want to engage the core, twist, and then release the arms. So planting the right hand behind the sit bones, and then we hook the elbow across the right knee. We want to bring the gaze back over the shoulder. And breathe here. Every time we inhale, elongate the spine, reach the spine up. And exhale, we find a deeper twist. Inhale, let go, come back to center. Reach the arms up, small cabin. Breathing here. And rocking back to bring the right knee to the front of the mat here. Stretching the left leg back, tops of the feet on the earth, keeping an engagement in this front foot so we protect the knee. Inhale, reach the heart forward, and exhale, walk the hands out in front. Coming into that same position, maybe creating a pillow with the hands and the arms, or walking all the way down to the mat, letting the forehead rest on the earth. And continuing to breathe, releasing the hip here, letting go. If this becomes difficult, calling on the breath, lengthening the inhales, lengthening the exhales, can be really helpful. Pent up stress, anxiety that we're holding in the body. Find 2 more cycles of breath, your own pace. When you're ready, walk the hands back, come onto the palms. We're going to find that same gentle twist, falling onto the right hip and reaching the back leg forward. We're going to find both sit bones yearning for the mat, so we don't want to be all the way over. If we need to fold our mat under our hips, we can do that, or we can put a block underneath. We just want to be supported here. Reach both arms up towards the sky. Inhale. And exhale, twisting from the belly. Hooking the elbow, dropping the hand. Inhale, lift the heart up towards the sky. And exhale, fold. Twist more deeply. On every inhalation, we find elongation in the gaze back over the back shoulder. One more breath here. Staying for arms, reach up towards the sky out in front. And counter twist, bring the left arm towards the left leg. And find a small counter twist here, balancing out the body. And coming back to center, lean back on the hips and bring the feet out in front. Place the soles of the feet at the top of the mat, walk the hips forward. And coming down to final resting pose, Shavasana, everyone's favorite pose. And roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, letting go here of anything that you don't want to take into this nice, yummy, rejuvenative pose. Take up more space than you think you need. Bring your legs out wide, your hands down beside your hips. Take as much. Letting go. Closing the eyes. Palms facing up towards the ceiling. Releasing everything. All the heat that we generated in the practice, in the first half of the practice tonight, moved and evolved to cooling down the body. And now, in our final resting posture, we release every bit of tension. The feet, bring your inner eye to the feet and let go of every muscle in the foot. The shins, the legs, the knees, letting yourself sink into the earth, feeling supported. Letting go of the shoulders, the hands, the arms. Releasing the jaw, letting the jaw go. Gently parting the lips, Releasing any tension in the face, the forehead, between the eyebrows. And the crown of the head. Begin yourself back into your body. Come back to the body with the breath. Before you initiate any movement, deepen the breath from the belly to the chest, air, deep inhalation and exhalation. Bring a smile to your face. Smiles, even if you are not happy, are very helpful to being happy. So this is a nice first movement. Start to bring the fingertips to the thumbs. Roll the wrists, roll the feet. Keeping the breath big, expansive. Bring the knees to the chest, hug them in. Gently cradle yourself here, rock from side to side, rocking. And fall to your right or to your left, whatever feels right here for you. If you get lightheaded easily, come to your left side. If you come to your left side, otherwise your right side, and just stay in this fetal position here with the eyes closed, resting. And push yourself up ever so slightly and gently to a seated position where we began our practice with the eyes closed. Find your comfortable seated position. Hands to the knees, palms facing up. Engaging the core to hold the body up to protect the lower back. Continuing with the breath. For our last practice, I invite you to do alternate nostril breathing. So bringing your right hand, you can keep your left hand palm facing up. You can do Gyan Mudra, bring your pointer finger to their thumb, or just keep the palm open. Bring your right hand to your forehead, peace fingers in the middle of your two eyebrows at your third nostril with the right thumb, and inhale through the left. So do that with me. And we're going to cover the left nostril with the inhale through the right. Cover the right nostril with the thumb. Exhale through the left. Inhale left. And exhale right. You can close your eyes and move through this at your own pace. Do 3 more cycles. Keep breathing. Balances our brain function, the right and the left hemisphere. Keep breathing. When you've completed your last cycle, remove your hand, place it palm facing up on the right knee. Find a deep inhalation with me. Exhale out the mouth. More inhale. Last one. Bring the hands to heart center. Elbows pointing straight to the opposite sides of the room. Chin slightly tucked into the chest. Feeling the hands, the thumbs on the chest bones. Comment that you set at the beginning of the practice, what you invited or released. And gently floating the hands down, bowing. Namaste. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for the new practicers. I hope you keep practicing. And thank you for those of you who haven't really met or introduced myself to, but I'm glad that you joined me tonight, so thank you. Dinner. I can feel good about the rest of the night. And feedback is always welcome, so whatever, if you have any feedback, I'd love to take that. So, and I'm going to be teaching here again on the 20th. So I think not next Monday, but the Monday after that. So, and then I'll be here once, maybe twice a month. So on Mondays. Yeah.